I'm going to call the regular town council meeting of July 8th, 2026 to order at 7 p.m. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Brian, will you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you kindly. We are going to have one proposed amendment to the agenda under item O1, a new subsection B for Sandra Weston, who is applying to be part of the Cultural Commission. She is a longtime Cromwell resident, as you can see from her application, and she is also the donor relations manager for the Greater Hartford Arts Council, so she knows a thing or two about nonprofit fundraising and arts fundraising, and I think she'll be a tremendous asset to that committee. So that's the only addition to the agenda. Are there any other additions, Madam Clerk? Hearing none. Any additions from any of the counselors? Okay. I'll take a motion to amend the agenda as proposed.
So moved.
Made by Jamin, second by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Now can I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved.
Made by Jamin, second by Brian. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Agenda is amended. Next, we'll move on to item D, approval of town manager's appointment of assessor and emergency management director. Mr. Town Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You have, both individuals are here present tonight. My appointment for assessor is Molly Martinez. She comes to us with years of experience as a assistant assessor for the town of Westport, and she has all the credentials, and she is a certified assessor. And Molly is here with us tonight, and if you would like, she could give you a little interview and outline herself before you and answer any questions that you may have.
That'll be wonderful. Molly, come on up to the podium.
Hopefully the speaker.
Yeah, hopefully the speaker works. So if it doesn't work, just give it a couple taps and it should turn on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Molly Martinez.
No.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
Thank you for having
It's
me
on
here
order.
tonight.
Excuse me, it's
sure.
on order.
Okay, thank you.
I want to hear Alice tonight.
As Tony said, I've been working the past 7 years as the deputy assessor in the town of Westport. Prior to that, I was in the city of Meriden,'s tax and assessing office, and I'm here tonight, hopefully looking forward to being the new assessor for the town of Cromwell.
Great. Any questions from the council?
You don't have to ask one
You
if you don't have
You
one.
don't have to ask one if you don't have one. I'm just giving anyone the opportunity. Well, I got to say, thank you for coming to us. This is a very difficult job. You are going to be no one's best friend, as I'm sure you're in Westport. I'm sure you're more than well aware of that. But it's an important job, and it is the basis from which pretty much all other services derive themselves through the town. Without your work, there's no, that's the foundation for everything else. So without your work, we can't figure out how to plan and budget appropriately. Without your work, we can't figure out what resources we have available to service the townsfolk. So,
appreciate that
it's a challenging job,
Yeah.
but God bless that somebody wants to do it and somebody as well qualified as you. So, absent any other questions, I'll take a motion to approve the town manager's appointment.
Make a motion.
Made by the deputy mayor, Mr. Waters, seconded by Jack. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Congratulations and welcome to the town of Cromwell.
I look forward to
Okay, Mr. Town Manager, Emergency Manager Director recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The President Emergency Management Director for the last several years was Kevin Vandersloot. Kevin Vandersloot has given me his resignation Unfortunately, he is moving out of state. And I have appointed Charles Epstein as the next Emergency Management Director for the town of Cromwell, subject to your approval. And I'm sure you all know Mr. Epstein, longtime resident of the town of Cromwell. And you could see by his bio that he has a lot of experience in this area and has done this or filled this position for the Sheriff's Department when he was with the State Sheriff's Service.
Mr. Epstein, I'll recognize you to come up to the dais.
Good evening, everybody. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to accept this position if you so determine it to be. I think it's a really important position as we just got a taste of it in the last 2 weeks. We had extremely hot weather, which is really important for the townspeople to know where they're gonna have an emergency shelter if they need to cool off, and where they can go 24 hours a day. And then we had a lot of rain, and sometimes we get some flooding here in the town. So
Yes, we do.
it's another example of when we need good planning, and we need people that are gonna be there 24 hours a day when they are needed.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from the council?
Make a motion, we approve.
Okay. Go ahead, Jamie.
I'm just wondering, Charles, are you still, if I'm correct, fire marshal?
I'm not a fire marshal.
Oh, okay. I was
No.
wondering if there would be
I
a
w- I was I'm a fire commissioner,
fire commissioner. Yes.
and I'm the lieutenant for the fire police. So I coordinate the movements of the other fire police officers.
Yeah, that seems like an excellent opportunity to have a lot of cross-pollination, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems really cool to me.
I think it's very important that I interact with the fire chief, the police chief, as well as the officers of the town, including the health director. You just went through the golf tournament. It's an important position to know what's gonna go on. If we were lucky this year, but in the past, we have had people that got struck by lightning. So it's all in the planning.
All right, seems cool to me. Thank you.
We had a motion from Al.
Second.
We have a second from Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. 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 Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Charlie.
Thank
Very
you.
happy to have you on board. And with that, we will now move on to commission chairman reports, staff reports. You have in your packet some staff reports. You have the planning and development director's report. There is going to be a ribbon cutting tomorrow for Complete Automotive, Advanced Automotive, which is where the old Price Right was, right? Correct? Correct?
Yep.
The Advanced Automotive, where the old Price Right was, yeah. It'll be their fulfillment kind of facility. So that's very exciting that that's coming in. You have your recreation director's update. Do you know if when he'll be able to join the councils for an introduction? Since we haven't been able to meet.
He's down at the concert now.
I know he's at the concert now, but some future meeting? Probably.
Next council meeting, I'll make sure he's here.
Okay, great. I just know that he hasn't had the chance to be introduced to everybody on the council yet. You have your library report as well, so you have all your reports there, and your senior services report. I do have one report from the liaison from the Board of Education. Matt Zabrowski says that he can't be here. He apologizes. He wanted to give us some updates. Peter Colicino was appointed as the new middle school principal. He joins us from Ansonia, having previously been middle school principal there, as well as assistant principal in Meriden. and prior to that being a teacher in Wolcott and Plainville. Ramsey Binghamton, she is the principal of Woodside Intermediate, and she is currently the interim superintendent until the new superintendent begins his position on July 27th. And the track is undergoing its resurfacing currently, and it will be closed for use at least through July 10th, 2026. So, all good things. Those are Matt's notes. If anyone has any questions for me to pass along to Matt, please let me know.
I actually took a look at the track. It looks very good.
I hope so.
I know.
I know. After all the hand wrangling, right? But I'm glad it looks really good. I'm going to ask Ms. Gaduti that once the track is done, maybe we do a joint little event or something there, or jog, maybe a jog. Nobody wants to see me jog, but maybe a jog, just to celebrate its opening. I think that's an asset that's been refreshed and needed it, and I'm glad it's looking better. Are there any other commission reports? Alice or Mike, do you have anything from Planning and Zoning? Or Charlie, anything from the Fire Commission that you would want us to know?
We have a
Do you want to come up?
ambulance. We have a new ambulance that is in production and hopefully will be here within the next 2 months. So that's exciting for us because when you order new ambulances today, it takes you 2.5 to 4 years to get them.
Is this
Same
the,
thing with fire trucks.
Joe, is this the one that was refurbished box on the chassis?
Yes,
Nice,
yes.
nice.
I would like to say that we are busy. Our call volume is going up. And as of Monday, we decided that we are going to, or the chief decided that the department is going to split the officers, the fire officers, between 2 stations. So during the day, there will be an engine company and an ambulance here at West Street, and there will also be the regular other contingent over on Court Street. And that was decided on because when they looked at their numbers, almost 50% of all of our calls in the town fall on this side of the town. Between 101 West Street and between the convalescent home on Main Street, they're a big part of the calls on this side of the town. So this way there'll be vehicles and personnel a little closer. The other day I was watching some of the calls, and the national standard is about 8 minutes. They would like to see you at the scene in 8 minutes. And the other day after we moved in there, I noticed that some of them are down to 5 minutes.
Great.
So when you have a loved one who's on the ground, or when you have a loved one who's sick or injured, you want them there in 5 minutes if you can get them there rather than 8.
Instead of 8.
So,
Great work.
Any other questions?
No, I'm all set. Okay, great, thank you. Pulling double duty, thank you so much.
Saved me.
From Planning and Zoning, yep, go ahead.
I'm not sure who on the council is aware yet, but it's been official that Bruce Driscoll, our zoning enforcement officer, is retiring middle of August. He's been fantastic. He's going to have very large shoes to fill, but the search is already on, and I understand there are some good applicants in the queue. But like I said, Bruce came to us from Middletown. I've worked with Bruce for probably 35 years in my career, and he has been nothing but incredible. So he's going to be sorely missed. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with that, thank you. Okay, moving on then to the mayor's update. I want to start with what I think is the news of the century, perhaps. Popeyes is open. I have, myself and Representative Carpino went on Monday to visit, since they're not, it doesn't seem like they're doing like a big ribbon cutting anytime soon, or they didn't, I don't think they've invited anybody to a big ribbon cutting. I think they've just hit the ground running. So we went there, we saw the very small footprint for in-house dining, and then a lot of to-go business, But it was a really clean facility, and they seem like they're doing a really good business so far. And the parking lot, I was really skeptical of it, but once I figured out you had to drive around around the drive-through to get to the parking lot, it made a lot more sense, and the flow out makes a lot of sense. So, happy to see that they are open, and ready for business. Additionally to that, I met with the Cromwell Creative District to talk about their next steps as a nonprofit in relation to the Town Cultural District Commission. The Cultural District is now approved by the state. It's a town commission. And so we talked about how the Creative District can continue to support the town's cultural district endeavors as they move forward. And we had that event at Woody's Ice Cream with the Lieutenant Governor. And it was a really well-attended event. Amy Sada from the Senior Center had a group of seniors come to join us for the festivities, and it was really, really nice to celebrate Cromwell. And now that we're designated as cultural district, there's more work to do to develop the, excuse me, sorry, to develop the marketing plan and get that along the way. Oh boy, losing my voice. And then finally, I wanted to give a thanks to the chief of police and the town manager for their outstanding job during the Travelers Tournament this year. Really outstanding job. This year, I only got a handful of traffic complaints versus the plethora I've gotten in the past, so whatever you're doing, it's working. I was unfortunately not able to go to the Travelers because if you can kind of still hear it, I lost my voice that weekend. I was completely mute by the time Friday night came along, and I was coughing too much to be able to get out of bed that weekend. So unfortunately, I missed it, but I did watch it on TV, and it looked exhilarating. As we are the Paris of Connecticut, I think you may have also seen, for those of you watching from home, our Instagram and Facebook video advertising us as the Paris of Connecticut. We did get permission from WTNH to use their audio, and I think it's a fun way to celebrate everything that Cromwell has to offer. Facetious as the Hawk may have been, I do think it is fun to celebrate the town in a fun and surprising way. So if anyone has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we can move to the town manager's update. Okay, Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As previously reported, Bruce Driscoll did give me his retirement. However, in talking with Bruce, he's agreed to stay on with us and give me a couple of days a week for zoning until we are able to find a new zoning compliance officer. I signed a contract today for Cedar Drive for the drainage in that area. The contractor should be starting with, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks with that project. I signed the contract today for the firm that you selected to do the recruitment for the next town manager. If you haven't noticed, the state will be paving West Street, its entire length from Shumpike to Main Street, and a section of Main Street also. And I concur, all public safety agencies that were involved, and specifically our police department and those assisting us, did an outstanding job. Other than no incidences, they did go for the first time to Monday. And that is all I have to report, and be happy to answer a question.
Any questions on my left? Any questions on my right?
Sure.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, how is the repave gonna go? Because that's a pretty critical length of road. Are they gonna do one side to the other, or are they gonna do it in sections?
I believe they're doing it at night.
The chief will address it in his
Oh,
report.
okay.
Typically on a high-traffic area like that, they do
The chief
it, they
can
do
address it. He's
it
been
in the
to
course of overnight.
the meetings with the state.
Okay, great. Well, I guess we'll catch up in a moment.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tony, I have a question regarding Veterans Day. I'm hearing that there's some interest in potentially doing a Veterans Day celebration or parade or event this year, either in Town Hall or in the Town Green, perhaps a parade. Do you have, or do you know what like the progress is with that, or like what the concept is?
Yes, the American Legion did contact me, and they are discussing possibly this Saturday before Veterans Day, doing a Veterans Day parade.
Great. Got it, thank you. Okay, absent any other questions, we will keep it moving tonight to the town council liaison reports. So any liaison reports from anybody? Jamin, I know you want to talk about what happened up in, what's it called, at the mansion?
Yeah.
I don't remember the mansion's
Oh,
name.
sure. The Sustainable CT recognized towns who achieved at least a bronze rating for their Sustainable Connecticut efforts, and Cromwell, of course, was one of them. It was a great time. It was held, I forgot what the place is called, the White something.
Yeah,
But, yeah, where they have like an art museum and, yeah.
Okay, the Hillstead Museum.
Hillstead, yeah.
Sorry,
that's right.
I should remember this because the owner was this woman named Theodate, and she had a model car, she had all these cars, she was a car collector from the 1900, like 1910, so she had like 20 cars that she kept there. And
I think she was an engineer or
Yeah.
an architect, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a really well done, and there was lots of displays and sources of information. Really appreciate them holding it. Kind of building off of that, we're going to be trying our best to go for silver this coming year. At our conservation meeting tomorrow night, we expect to talk with the town planner about what our next steps will be to achieve that, and I'm very excited about it, and I think the rest of the commission is as well. And again, I really appreciate the members of the town staff and the town planner on really pushing this to get it done. It's really essential that they are helping. I can't praise them enough, and as well as the commission members, especially on the pollinator pathway, which we are still working on, but we've made a lot of progress. We have some donated plants and things along that to get that going. It's just trying to decide on the right kind of soil, I think, is kind of the holdup right now. But we'll get to that hopefully tomorrow. All right, thank you.
thank you. Congratulations again, that really outstanding work. Ann or Jack, anything to report?
Nothing at this time.
Al, Brian, or Paula?
Charlie took mine.
Ready?
Yep,
No,
go ahead, Paula.
quite all right. I wasn't there.
Okay, as council liaison, I attended the Cromwell Cultural District Commission meeting on June 15, and as a liaison, I attended the Youth Advisory Board meeting on June 16th, and then I attended the Youth Advisory Board Summer Picnic and Touch a Truck event on June 18th. I volunteered at the farmer's market with the Recreation Department on June 19. On June 23rd, I attended the announcement of Cromwell's Cultural District designation down at Woody's. And I attended the Board of Finance meeting on June 25 with the rest of the council to discuss the fields. That's it.
Okay, great. Any questions for Paula? Okay, hearing none, thank you, Paula, for being such an active community member as always. And now with that, we'll move on to our finance director's update with our budget report. Sharon.
Good evening. So the finance office is extremely busy. We're closing out the fiscal year '26, and you have the budget reports through the end of June. We still are processing fiscal year '26 invoices. We are diligently trying to close out purchase orders so we can close out the year. And the audit has begun. They've already pulled a bunch of expenditures for review, and they typically step it up in September with the audit. Other than that, like I said, we're just really busy in my office. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions? Go ahead.
Hi Sharon, thanks for being here as always. Last year, the auditors highlighted a series of changes they wanted to see. Did you get around to addressing a lot of those this year?
Yeah, there was a memo in your packet
Okay.
that I answered all those recommendations from the auditors. I forget which month it was in.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
I did have a question. I see that the Board of Ed is at 34 million out of a $40 million revised budget with 6 million remaining. Is that outstanding receipts that's probably gonna be zeroed out, or?
We're behind.
Oh, we're behind.
Balancing with them.
Okay.
We typically are a little behind with them. I think they're about 2 months behind.
Oh, that would do it.
They lost their director of finance.
Okay, understood. Okay, great, thank you.
It should be nice if they came in 6 million under.
And we'll move on to tax refunds.
Motion approved 1 through 9.
Motion made, seconded by Jack. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Chief of Police, Chief, you are on deck. Look at that, in 25 minutes.
Shh, don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it, yeah.
No, first I want to commend the men and women of the police department for a great week that we had for Travelers Championship. The amount of traffic and people that come and visit our town, and they did a wonderful job. And it even was extended another day, helping facilitate that being staffed even more. But they did a wonderful job. They're great. You have my packet. We were able to hire two police officers. They start the academy on Friday, and I'll get to it. So DOT is going to be milling and paving West Street and Route 99. They're going to be starting with the state. It's always a moving target around July 19th. It's going to be overnight. They're going to be starting West Street at Route 3, and then coming eastbound or east to Main Street. Then they will go from Route 9 to about Iron Gate. You can see there are markings in the road where they're going to stop. They should be done sometime around the same time, August 19th. And the work's going to be done overnight.
Will it be noisy?
I'm
Do
sure
you
there'll be
live close?
a little bit. There'll be milling.
Then yes.
Milling will be first, and then followed by the paving.
Could you put on the PD Facebook page, just like I know you guys have been doing the traffic notices, just like a notice about milling, so when people inevitably call me at 10 o'clock at night to complain that the road's really loud, I can point them to a resource that will tell them what's happening?
I'll make sure it gets posted.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll put out the DOT release.
Somebody's out on the road and they're making too much noise, you gotta go out there and stop them, right away,
Right away.
right away.
Right away. Anything else?
Milling was answered. Any follow-ups, Jamin?
Just a general curious question. I'm sure everyone here has seen those like speed sensor displays around town. How do you decide where to put them?
We get complaints.
And how do you decide how long they stay?
They usually stay for about a month, and we collect the data. Usually, they're not that far off from what the speed limit is.
Cool, that was it. I was just curious about what, you know.
I just had a process and procedure question because I just don't know the answer to it. When you get a civilian complaint, that never comes to us, right? That it all is handled internally. There's like a process, appeals process, investigation process. Okay.
I don't know about appeal, but
But you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they file a complaint, somebody investigates it, and then issues a report with a finding.
correct.
Okay, yeah. That's it. Any other questions for the chief? Brian?
Curious as to where we are with the collaboration with the game club and the whole range usage. How do we,
Still
still in the works?
yes.
Okay. That's all I got.
Any other questions for the chief? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the Public Works Director. I believe he's not here this evening, but he has a written report. Go ahead.
Yeah, he has a written report in your packets.
Okay. Anything you want to read or highlight, or that Lou asked us to read or highlight?
No, I don't think so, other than, he did mention, he is, I assigned him the monitoring of the track, and we're gonna be doing some, restoration work because of the way they, tore up the, old track. So, we agreed to do some, loaming and seeding for the new track. And, other than be starting some paving shortly again for the summer, fall season.
Great, thank you. And do you have any new information, I was gonna ask Lou, or you, but on the PBA building and the status of any state money so we can renovate that and what the timetable is on that? Because the football families wanna make sure that it's usable for the beginning of their season in September.
Unfortunately, I have several calls into Senator Lesser.
Okay.
Waiting for a call back, and I just called him again later this afternoon, left another message.
I'll try to reach out as well, thank you. Okay, with that, we now move on to citizens' comments. Citizens are invited to make comments, limited to 2 minutes per speaker. Please state your name and address, and please be respectful, and I'll recognize any citizens' comments. Ms. Kelly?
Alice Kelly, 47 Willowbrook Road. I just want a clarification about the WIS Fields. That school opened in 2005. All we have talked about over 20 years are these swampy fields. I'm hoping that in this day and age that we will not have to be talking about the swampy fields at a school that has been in existence for 20 years. I've read some of the things that the consultants have said about 1, 2, and 3. And I am not a soil conservationist. I know nothing about sand, gravel, except if you have anything that is like hard pan, you're going to have problems with water because that's where my house is. I mean, when I look at that you have chosen, and I guess nothing's going to happen unless the state comes up with $1.5 million for, number one, the least expensive. It used to be like what you call, instead of getting a Cadillac, you're getting a Pinto. I mean, I really have to question, when you're taking, and you're looking at 3, you're looking at 2, and you're looking at the Pinto, is that going to do anything to alleviate what we have looked at for 20 years? I mean, I really have to question that. Are we just being penny wise and pound foolish? You know, I mean, either you're going to bite the bullet or you're going to have the bullet blow up and then you're going to go and get another grenade. And that would be section 2. So from 1.5 to 2.5, we're now up to 4.0, if that's how it's going to work. You know, I really have to question, and I know that it's really like we're not going to do anything unless we get what is called state funding, state taxpayers, of which I am a state taxpayer. So no matter how you look at it, it's coming out of our taxes. So, you know, I read all these reports, and I'm just astounded that, you know, we always go for the Pinto rather than maybe the middle one that is like, you know, it's not a Cadillac, but it's kind of like a nice
Didn't we go
Hyundai.
for the middle one? We went for one.
Thank you.
We did? Oh. Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Any other citizens' comments? Come on up.
My name is Gerda Saint-Val, and I live in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, 70 Pheasant Drive. I am here simply to voice out a tax issue that my husband has been used to park at a place in Cromwell. According to research that I did, and then according to the policy here in Cromwell, if you park a truck for less than 90 days within a year, you don't pay taxes. Now, we happen to get charged for taxes where he used to just park here in a transit because he does long distance driving. The person who owned the lot stated that we used to pay monthly but never park in the lot for more than 90 days because he doesn't come home. So now when the bill used to, I came here and met with the assessor office, and I spoke to the lady. I bought all the paperwork. The truck was not owned by the LLC. He works for a company in Indiana. The truck was registered in Indiana. He paid tax in Indiana as well. And I explained to them everything, and they're questioning me, telling me, okay, well, we've been sending you mail. And I explained to her, I'm the only one at my house. I work full time. I have a 92-year-old that I take care of. I have 2 kids. Sometimes the kids are the one who take the mail. And, I don't often, usually if it's a mail, say my name, they will just go ahead and give that to me. But because that they were mailing it under J&G, they're not involved in that. They don't even know much about it because the business was not, it was only for about 3 years, so they don't know I didn't get any mail until one day I happened to get the mail and I find a letter. I contacted the town hall. I spoke to the lady, and they're telling me we need to register the truck. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to do anything because the truck doesn't park here for more than 90 days. Although I explained that to them, they said, okay, well, it's your responsibility, it's your job to check your mail. And the way the lady was pressing on me, I felt that it was a little, putting me under pressure for me to, I'm not sure exactly what she was trying to do, but it's just that I felt that I was really pressured. And again, I'm not from Cromwell, but I am a citizen in Connecticut, and I do live in Rocky Hill. And I do understand that we supposed to pay taxes if we, that's how the town or the state operate. They depend on the tax. And I don't have a history of not paying my bills. My name is never not in collection unless if I don't know. My husband has the same history where he never owe money where he doesn't pay. But the fact that I came here, I even spoke to the town manager. He called me one time and he told me, at first the lady told me her words is the last word, regardless what I said or what proof that I come with. She's the one who make the last decision. I still kind of insist that I speak with the town manager for my voice to be heard. And he did call me and he told me there's nothing he can do and this is what it is and that's what it is. So I came here this afternoon. I do believe in making your voice heard. I work for the government. My son is working for the government. So I do believe in that. So I just wanted to have my voice heard and to see if I can, is there any other route that I can do or go to kind of get this resolved? But I don't think it's fair for my husband and I to be charged $3,000 something when we have the proof, and the owner of the lot said he actually told them the truck was never there for over 90 days and a year. That's what I wanted to present.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for coming to the town council to voice your concerns. I think it's important that people come. You can see not a lot of people are in the room with us, but it's, when you voice your concerns, your voice is heard. We, as a council, and we've actually gone through this before, we don't have any authority over assessments or assessment appeals. There's the assessor, and then there's the Board of Assessment Appeals. So if somebody disagrees with an assessment, there's a time frame and a process that normally they get a notification of what they're assessed at, their property, their vehicle, whatever, and then there's a window of time to appeal that. It goes to a different elected, I think the Board of, and it's an elected body, completely separate from us by law and by statute. And they have an appeals process, and then there's an appeal from them if people wanted to go to Superior Court and contest the appeals board. But unfortunately, because we've waded into assessment issues before, and the result is that they do have separated authority from us. But I do appreciate you sharing your experience and voicing your concerns so that we're aware of it. Yeah, sure.
I'm the gentleman you talked to. I don't want to get into a disagreement, but I remember you telling me that unfortunately you don't check your mail on a regular basis. And I did look into it, and unfortunately, state statute expired by the time that you could file an appeal. And I explained the whole process, that you first go to the assessor, then the Board of Assessment Appeals. The assessor does have the right if you file the appeal, but unfortunately, according to state statute, and I did review the state statute, that time has passed, and I believe I conveyed all that information to you.
You did say it has passed, which I do agree, but it's just that I didn't get the information. So by the time I got the information, I understand it had passed, but again, I did not receive the information. So if in the minute I received, I had it, I called and meet with them, and they refused for me to even go to the Council of Appeal.
And unfortunately, again, another state statute, that in accordance with that state statute, it's the taxpayer's responsibility to pay the taxes, whether or not you get a bill from the municipality. And again, the municipality's hands, as far as this body or even my office, are tied, and there's nothing that we can do to alleviate your situation. You gotta try to work with the assessor. If the assessor is agreeable, or if within the time frame of the next tax bill, you resolve your issue.
But the tax was wrongly billed. I do agree that we need to pay taxes. It's our responsibility. I do understand that.
But state
the
statute
tax
prohibits
was-
us from.
So, respectfully, Mr. Town Manager, she's been heard, you've been heard. I don't want to start a disagreement.
No, I'm
but,
just, it's state
you know,
statute.
it's well taken, but I think everyone's made their respective points. So thank you for bringing your comments to our attention. What I'd encourage folks to do is, when in doubt, you can look up the information online by license plate or by address, and just be wary of making sure we get our mail. But I understand what you're saying. But unfortunately, this body can't really do anything to help, because it's separated by separation of powers. It's purely the Board of Assessment Appeals and the assessor's responsibility. So I'm sorry we're not able to do more.
No, that's okay. I mean, again, I will keep moving forward, because the next I will go ahead and talk to the state representative. I wanted to make sure I follow the ladder.
Sure.
To come here and then
Yep.
talk to.
Absolutely.
I kind of been following the ladder.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to do that before I move forward, but
Yep.
thank you for hearing
No,
me.
we appreciate
Yeah, absolutely.
that.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments? Any other citizens' comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll close citizens' comments. We now will move on to item M1, appoint search committee for town manager position. So, the search firm has been signed, their contract has been signed. I thank the town manager and the HR director for negotiating that agreement. Appreciate their hard work on making sure that all of our contingencies were covered. And Mr. Town Manager, just to confirm, I think there's a cap of how many hours before they have to come back for more approval for work or something like that.
I put a $10,000 limit until they have to come back and get town approval for spending any more funds.
Perfect. Thank you for doing that. I know that was something that we were concerned about. And so we wanted to appoint a search committee after talking with with Amanda, the town manager, with the HR director. I think I have a recommendation, and then folks can ignore my recommendation, make a different recommendation if they want. But I've talked with my counterpart on the Board of Finance, and so what I would like to propose, and again, collaborative body, you can add, subtract names, change names, whatever you like. Myself, the Board of Finance Chair, Mr. Ireland, the HR Director, and then I wanted to have one person who wasn't on our council kind of bring an outside perspective on it, but After kind of contemplating names, I was thinking of Mr. Kanata, Mike Kanata, who has served on our Charter Revision Commission. He serves as Vice Chair of Planning and Zoning. He's a business owner in town, longtime town resident. And I thought he could kind of give a third rail kind of input for us on it. So those were the four names that I was going to put forward, but I'm happy to take other recommendations. I know Councilwoman Luna emailed me about this as well, and others have talked to me about it in passing. But those were the four names that I had wanted to put forward for the council's consideration.
Is your committee going to be comprised of 4 people then?
It would be 4 people in that situation, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if we wanted it to be 5 people, so it's an odd number, we could. After that, Amanda and I were talking about it may get difficult for scheduling to get more than 5 people in a room together at the same time, but we thought between the HR director, so that's somebody from town hall, Mike, somebody who's not on the council or Board of Finance, but does bring other town experience to the table, John, who's the chair of Board of Finance, and myself, it kind of gives a good spread. And we thought that was a good group, but I'm happy to take any feedback or other names if folks want to add more names.
Sounds like you did your homework.
Well, I tried to, when I was thinking about it, I was trying to think about, we have the HR director who is obviously important from a staff perspective and kind of shepherding. That's what her job is. That's why we have her. And then I was thinking myself on behalf of the council, John Ireland expressed really strong interest from a Board of Finance perspective, wanting to have somebody from the Board of Finance be able to talk with the different people that we bring in. And then I felt that it was important to have somebody who's a little outside of the bubble but still knows how the town works and how what the town does impacts people. And Mike's been really instrumental, at least for me, in learning how the town works over the course of the last decade of my life.
Would you like a motion on this?
Sure.
Like a motion, we approve what the town mayor has recommended.
Second. Seconded by Jack or Jamin, who wants it? Sure. Okay, I'll give it to Jamin. Any further discussion on that?
What happens if someone declines?
Well, Mr. Ireland just told me that he wants to be on it. I accept. Mr. Kanata, do you accept?
I do.
Okay, so
Okay.
I think we're good. Okay. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm gonna abstain. Otherwise, motion passes. Thank you. As far as next steps for that, Mr. Town Manager, will Ginger be contacting us with what she needs us, what she wants us to do?
As soon as we hear now from the firm
Yep.
of
Okay.
what steps they want to take next.
Perfect. Okay, moving right along. Thank you guys for collaborating with me on that. I think it's a good group. And next, I am moving on to a citizen's comment, but it's also discussion and possible creation. But for reasons that will become clear in a moment, I don't think we can actually create anything. But I received a message from a resident, which I enclosed. Her rent went up almost double for her apartment, and she had gotten into researching fair rent commissions under 7-148B about forming a fair rent commission. And so there was some research done, and then we did some research on our end. So, Mr. Town Manager, or Amanda, do you want to kind of talk about where we went from there?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I looked up the state statute 7-148B, which creates the Fair Rent Commission, and it requires that the municipality be of 25,000 population or more. And then I went and looked, the powers, the action that committee can take, and it defined the action it could take, but again, it would have to be a municipality with 25,000 population. In essence, there's nothing that if you formed a committee, it could actually do. It would have no authority to invoke any type of discipline against the landlord. So probably why we haven't ever had a fair rent commission in the town of Cromwell.
Any questions on that from anybody?
So this is dead in the water.
That's what it seems like. Okay, so if that is the situation, that's the situation. Thank you for looking into that for us.
You're welcome.
You know, I'll reach back out to the resident and talk about maybe other rental assistance options that we offer through our town, town hall, try to find some other programs that maybe we can get her enrolled in to help her with that. That's a, you know, the affordability is such a big problem. And we all know that the price of housing or cost of housing continues to go up. It goes up for residents, it goes up for renters. So it's a really difficult and unfortunate cycle. Okay, moving on, I'll take a motion to approve item N1, June 10th, 2026, regular meeting minutes. Made by Paula. Second by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. June 25th, 2026, special meeting minutes. Made by Paula.
Second.
Made by Brian, seconded by Brian. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We have two appointments this evening. First for Michael Becker, Inland and Wetland Course Agency for Inland Wetlands. And the other one is Sonda Weston for the Cultural District Commission. So I'll take a motion to approve both of those names.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Al, seconded by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Abstained, opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'm really excited for Sonda. She lives on 290 Main Street, so she's right there in downtown Cromwell, grew up there, and has a really good background in this area. So I'm hoping she'll be a really good asset for the cultural district as they move into their next phase, which is their marketing plan. Now we need to go into executive session to review a potential collective bargaining agreement with the NAGE, local police department personnel union. So I'll take a motion to move into executive session at 7:51. And hold on, and to invite our police chief, our finance director, and our town manager into the meeting.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Al, second by Jamin. Any further discussion on that? Informational. Hearing no objections or further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention. We are in executive session at 7:52. We'll go across the hall if folks don't want to leave, or if you want to leave, you can leave too. It's up to you. But we'll go across the hall. You can also stay. No one's forcing anyone to leave. How am I doing tonight? Good on time? I'm short? 2 thumbs up. You're gonna make sure that's in the report, that the mayor was short-winded tonight.
What's wrong with this population? Because they have a fair rate.
I don't know what their population is.
Because they have a fair rate. What happened to Amanda?
She,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. She's going away.
It's being recorded.
That's right.
okay, we are out of executive session at 8:13. Can I have a motion to come out?
Motion.
Second.
Made by Al, second by Jack. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we're out at 8:13. I'll take a motion regarding to ratify the tentative agreement with the NAGE Local RI 121 Local Police Department Personnel Union Contract.
Motion.
Made by Jamin, second by Brian. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Next, I have an informational item. I passed out to you all a letter that is dated May 26, 2026, but I do not believe I received this until last week, or earlier this week, so I did not receive it on the date that is on the top of this. I received it in June. As you can see from this, this is a consent order between the state of Connecticut and the Mattabassett District based off of our prior conversations. I wanted to make the council aware of this. This was passed along to me, making it a public document. I didn't see anything that said it wasn't. We just got this, right? Yeah. So a month later, my understanding is that there was emissions testing was due on June 23rd, 2025. They failed to conduct their annual emission testing. And as a result, they failed to measure NOx emission rates, CO emission rates, and there's a whole list of them under paragraph 14. And it goes on to talk about their scrubbers, which is something we talked about with them, cleaning the scrubbers out. And there were some other things that were exhausted into the
Carbon filters.
the carbon filters. So they got fined $65,000 as a result of this. And they were been ordered to make the necessary replacements and fixes. So I do have a meeting set up with Mattabassett. Amanda's not here, but Amanda would know when it is. I think it's like July 20-something, but it's coming up soon. If any counselors want to sit in on that, please let me know. But we'll be meeting with Mattabassett to go over their odor mitigation efforts, their clean air efforts, and those other issues that they brought before us in December of 25 or 24, maybe 5, I think 25. So anyone's welcome to join in on that, but I felt it was important that folks were aware of this enforcement action from the state of Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection. So does anyone have any questions on that?
If I may, for my colleagues, when the scrubbers and the carbon filters are not up to par, mercury has the tendency to get out and go into the swamp area, farmer's market where food is handled. The whole lower part of Cromwell district is prone to get mercury. Not sufficient enough like it did many years back when the grinders, they had mercury for lubricant, and the seals broke and it went all over the place and also into the river. One of the concerns I have with this mercury is behind the Mattabassett, you got the swamp out there, and there's a lot of carp, a lot of pike, and you got the eagles, the hawks, eating fish. And fish are prone to eat whatever vegetation they can get their hands on under the water. And I'm just scared that the eagles and the bald eagles are gonna get mercury in them and they're gonna die if it's not taken care of. They've been neglected. The other thing, if I may, we were supposed to have a 5-year plan in front of us from Mattabassett to clean up all air quality control. And as our last meeting back in March, April with the Mattabassett district, it's been 3 years and we haven't got an updated report as far as what are they doing. So they're blowing us off again. And this is the way they operate. They come and tell you one thing. I've been arguing with these people for a long time, and everything, you get promised something and they back out of it. And my opinion, they just can't be trusted. It's just pathetic that we have to live, and now the sewage coming down from Massachusetts to the Connecticut River, it's affecting our quality of life, our recreation. A lot of jet skiers, a lot of skiers, anywhere between Weathersfield all the way down to Haddam Meadows. That's with the chemicals not being put in and the raw sewage. If somebody gets a mosquito bite, gets infected. And dead set against it. Something's got to be done. I don't know what the town could do. I mentioned this once to the town manager, and he said, well, that's a civil matter. We can't, the town council, so we can't do nothing, but it's a civil matter. So that means I'd have to go out and hire a lawyer to fight them on my own, which I don't know what the town can do. Could we maybe possibly get the town attorney to ask the town attorney, is there something we can do? Now, we also talked about, in this particular thing, a consent order. A consent order is, it's kind of like a Bible that they have to go. What we direct them to do, they have to go accordingly. And DEEP also goes by what our consent order is. And it's probably one of those things that...
When you did mention, I did look into it. I talked to the town attorney, as I explained to you. It's under the control of DEP, and the town has no standing, nor is it allowed to have standing.
So I think for the next steps, we have the meeting on, I looked it up, July 20th with them. If council members have concerns or specific questions, please pass them along to me, or if any of you would like to attend, please let me know. As long as there's less than 4 of us, we can have multiple of us at the meeting to talk with Art about the different work efforts that they're having. I did reach out to Senator Murphy's office. I have not heard back yet. I'll try again tomorrow to see if there's any kind of federal efforts that his office, or I'll try Richard Blumenthal's office, but I know that Mr. Waters has tried that in the past and hasn't found it to be super successful, but trying to see maybe if this is something that they want to jump on and try to help. I know that this is something that members of the Boat Club Outboard Association have expressed concern about, as well as residents who live down on River Road, about the water when it floods having sewage in it. I went to complete non sequitur, forgive me. And the farmer's market, I've gotten complaints there. I was at the Norwalk Aquarium the other day learning about estuaries and the water course systems, and they had a whole exhibit about pollution in estuaries. And it was really, really fascinating to see how many different feeder species live in wetlands that then feed the bigger animals, that then feed the bigger animals that tend to actually be some of the animals that enter into like the food system or whatever else. Like the minnows and the other little tiny fish that live in the wetlands that then feed everything else. So it's really wild when you think about how a little pollution then has a huge impact. So
Mr. Mayor,
very
if I
informative.
may,
Yeah.
if you do talk to Senator Blumenthal and or Murphy, I agree with Mr. Waters. Springfield is becoming more of a problem than, I don't want to make light of the Mattabasset, but every time we have a major storm, those facilities up in Massachusetts are dumping raw sewage right into the Connecticut River. And as a
Another
result-
20 million from this past storm.
Correct, sir. And as a result of those actions, it's, at one point, the Connecticut River was almost to the point where it was, again, pristine enough to do all the activity that Mr. Waters described, as well as the habitats that live in that body of water. And they're just destroying all of that. So it needs to be done on a federal level,
I agree.
though.
I agree. Clean water agencies.
I
Yeah.
know when I talked to Mr. Blumenthal about 2 years ago, for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, we're going back and forth, and I was giving him all the information that his aide requested in Hartford. And finally, he turned around and says, well, your problem you have in Cromwell is a state issue, which he cannot be involved in. And that's why my remark back to him was, EPA, is that state or is that federal? He couldn't answer that, because that's federal, to my knowledge. And he should be able to do something, but he blew it off.
The waterway
I'm
is
happy to
regulated
help
by
with
the
this.
government.
I've worked with Senator Blumenthal on many water issues, including this one, including other toxic chemicals in our environment. So I'm happy to assist you, James.
Yeah. I think I copied you on the email
Yes,
because
you
I
did.
knew you were the
And
expert.
I'm happy to go to this meeting. I've worked with both senators on these issues for many, many years, as well as the folks at DEEP. So to the extent that I can help, I'm happy to do so.
Great.
And if I made the last thing,
Go ahead, Val.
they
Thank
find it's easier to pay the fine than it is to fix the problem,
That is often true.
correct?
That is often the piece.
Yep.
Which is just terrible.
So we get the short end of the stick all the time.
We will solve all the world's ills one at a time.
Yes, I think the fact that we're staying on it and paying attention and showing up to meetings and having conversations will all help build momentum for regional change.
Yeah, I agree. With that, tomorrow, 1 o'clock is the ribbon cutting. Everyone is always invited to those Middlesex Chamber ribbon cuttings, but any other informational items?
What about the new coffee shop across from Woody's?
Oh, are they open yet, Bot and Brew? I didn't think they
did.
were open yet.
They had the people there the other day. The coffee shop
Oh, I didn't
across
know if
from
it
Woody's.
opened yet. The internet cafe, coffee shop.
Got
that
a
they're-
robotic
Bot and
thing
brew.
makes the coffee.
I'm not aware that it opened.
Okay. Yeah, as a robot makes the coffee, and then they want people to stay there and use the internet and like hang out to try to like modern internet cafe.
Yeah, it's called Bot and
That's right. Alrighty, no other items. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Moved. Made by Jamin, second by Paula. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, we are adjourned at 8:24. Look at that, guys. Thank you all to those of you at home. Stay safe, be well, and we'll see you next month.